You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Terrence.
What's up?
And special guest, Dorian.
Yo, what's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 160, Fast Color. This is a review of Fast Color. I don't know why I have to keep saying it, but apparently people don't read titles. So this is a review of the 2018 American superhero film, which I don't know that I would call it that necessarily, but it is about people with supernatural powers. This is starring GuGu Mbatha-Raw, who is playing a woman with supernatural powers who's on the run from law enforcement and some scientists because they want to study and control her. So this sort of takes place in what I assume is kind of the Midwest and some further time into the future, but not that far into the future because y'all niggas don't recycle. This is like Wednesday. 2025. Yeah, like we're so fucked.
2020 is next Wednesday.
Yeah. It's like y'all didn't listen to nobody. Like you didn't give a hoot and not pollute. You just didn't care. You just didn't care. It's all your fault. A lot of people didn't really know about this movie because it was in theaters for all of like 4 seconds before it got pulled out.
It was in the movie theater for like a week.
Yeah,
literally a week.
You know how I know that? Because in the box office, it made $76,000.
God damn. Yo, the bad part about it, I almost thought you was going to say it made $76.
I mean, a lot of people didn't see it. And so this was directed by Julia Hart and also written by Julia Hart and Jordan Horowitz. So I will start with Dorian as our guest. Your thoughts on it?
It was interesting. I honestly can't say I did like it. I can't say I hated it either. It was okay. It was middle of the road for me, for the most part. It was just something to watch. It had remnants, things that reminded me of watching a TV show as opposed to a feature-length movie. I think a lot of things in the movie probably would have worked better in a more condensed form. And it definitely was not what I expected. There was kind of really no... I didn't expect it to be over the top, like Marvel type things, but it wasn't really no kind of wow factors or, okay, that's dope, or like kind of dope action sequence. It was very character-driven. But some of those characters kind of fell flat. So
okay, that's fair. Terrence?
This movie was mad boring. It was. Okay. I started watching it like maybe 11:30 at night. I finished it this morning. I fell asleep like 5 times. It's boring. I get what it was trying to do. Like I understand. Like it's essentially a character piece with superpowers. Like it's a family trying to like come back together. It didn't do it well. Like everyone was fine. The actresses, like were all of them are good.
Yeah, we didn't mention. So it's GuGu Mbatha-Raw as Ruth. Her mother Bo, played by Lorraine Toussaint, who's stellar. She's a stellar actress,
and the girl was really good. Her name is Sanaya Sidney.
Yeah.
She was very good. Yep. They're all good. Like I have no complaints with the acting.
Right. No, it was solid.
The cinematography was some shots were really beautiful. But overall, I just couldn't get into it. Like it was just mad, and I didn't know what it was trying to get at. I don't know if there was like a necessarily a point, because by the end of the movie, I was just like, is that it? Is that it? Is that what we're doing? But I didn't hate it. I was just like it was a slog to get through and it's only like an hour and 40 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So like
it definitely felt longer. It
starts off. I'm like, okay, this is interesting, and they don't really get into because we'll get into it when we start talking about it. But like, it hasn't rained in 8 years.
Right.
So I'm like,
again, because you guys didn't recycle.
Where are they at? Is this a world thing, or is this just in this area? Like water's $20-something a gallon. It was bananas. But it never really.
It never rained in Southern California.
Shut up. I like 2020. But
we all do.
But they put certain things into it, but they just kind of just left a lot of.
strings hanging.
That,
And it was
yeah.
kinda
Right. I agree with that.
Like, it should have been a television show.
Right.
Well,
Like, you're right.
it's funny that both of you say that because there's talk of making it into a series.
It would be
Yeah.
more. It would be way more interesting because you
I
could
think
dig
so.
a little deeper into the characters. But overall, like the story, it starts off interesting, but then it just kind of like that middle part. I'm like, yo, yo, come on, do something.
Yeah.
But again, all the actresses were great, but it's just it's boring. I don't know who to recommend it to. This is an indie film, and like what is like
Art house.
Yeah, those people will love it. Yeah. I'm sure this did really well on the festival circuit. It has.
Yeah,
to.
my
Like,
guess
it
is
seems
yes.
like a fucking pretentious fucking people like clapping and shit at the end of the movie. Yeah,
That one still shot on that glass of water for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Said
sure
so
it's
much.
a festival darling, but like to me, I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
All right.
I'd probably give it like if I had to rate it, it's not bad, but it just does nothing for me. So I'd probably give like a 2.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
I am one of those pretentious people.
Of course.
I gave it a 5. I'm kidding. Relax. No, I would give it probably a 3 to a 3.5. My thing is this: as I'm watching the movie, I thought that I looked at the superpowers thing as an allegory for something, and by the end, I realized I was on the right path. Wrong conclusion. Right? I think this movie, originally I thought, okay, just in how they were talking about the characters and of course we'll get into it, but how they were talking about the characters, how they were talking about the superpowers and how they were sort of, these people with superpowers are kind of hidden, right? Like they hide out and it's just this family, right? Like that's, there's not like, it's not like the X-Men. There aren't like thousands of them running around, right? Or is there?
Well,
right?
More on that later.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was just focused on this particular family. So I thought that it was an allegory for race, right? This idea of because Ruth says at one point in the movie that she yells at Lila, like our superpowers don't mean shit, right? Like in and of themselves, they don't mean anything. But when you put just like your race doesn't technically mean anything, right? Like we assign it power, and then it has power to.
It
shouldn't mean anything, right? Like obviously, society has assigned power to our skin color, positively or negatively, right? For white people, black people, everyone in between, and then it isn't until we sort of decide for ourselves how powerful that is for us, one way or the other. Generally, especially people of color, we try to decide that this is a benefit to us. We come to that conclusion, then you become more powerful because of that, right? Like it is empowering. But what I realized in the end is that I was on the right path as far as the allegory, at least my thought, but I came to the wrong conclusion. It isn't an allegory about race. It's an allegory about women. Like it is an allegory about femininity because every character who has powers is a woman. Every person who is trying to thwart that power or expose it and study it and try to figure out what it is are all men, if you notice, right? In the end, even the reveal at the end, which we'll talk about, is another woman, right? And just because of the location of which they say that person is in leads me to believe that person is not black. So, like, I didn't think that it was about race. In the end, I think it is about women. And, like, the whole idea of the earth is broken and, like, sort of, like, if you want to get into sort of, like, histrionics and things like that, like, the earth is a woman, the Gaia and all this other stuff. Like, their powers are about... Like their powers are literally based in disassembling and reassembling things, right? So the idea of women reassembling the world being the focal point for creation and stuff like that. Right. That's where I was like, okay, I get what it's trying to do, and that's super clever. However, the movie is a slog to get through in a lot of ways. And to what you both said before, as a series, I'd watch the shit out of this series. Like, if you got like a good 30 minutes to an hour series where you can really break down what these women are going through and the power that they have and things like that and how that affects them and them on the run, but it's also, again, an allegory for who they are and how their sort of their femininity is supposed to be tamped down and not be a benefit to them. It is supposed to be a negative. And they're supposed to hide and be demure and all this other shit. Yeah, I'd watch that. And I look, like we mentioned, Lorraine Toussaint is a stellar actress in literally everything, especially when she was on more recently that season of Orange is the New Black. I was so happy to see her get hit by that van in the end because she was such a horrible person, but she was so good as like a real piece of shit.
You earned that one.
Yeah, I was like, nah, they had to kill you. You had to die. But she's so good, and like her delivery in that sort of third act really, to me, made it, because like that whole thing of like, they're all scared and it's like, oh, I think these people are going to try to kill you. And she was like, no, I'm afraid they're not going to be able to stop me. Yeah. Like, that's kind of the point. And it's like women coming into their own this is 2018, like in the era of like the Me Too movement and sort of self-empowerment for women themselves, them coming into their own. And it's basically, you can no longer push them back down, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they are out now. So it's impossible to do that. So taking that allegory, which is how I saw it in the end, I think that makes for a much better film without that allegory. That being said, it's a fucking slog to get through. You're not wrong about that. Like, there are parts of it that are very boring. And it's a shame because everyone in the acting department is really good.
I mean, yeah. Like, and it definitely would better serve as a series. I mean, because the mythology that they set up is very interesting. You want to dive into it. And yeah, it's cool you have movies it's cool to have movies that's like one shot, boom, open-ended, kind of still leave you intrigued. But I think the premise of this one is so good, you actually benefit stretching it out and letting people actually explore, all right, what the hell is going on?
Right. Because if this never existed as a movie and it just straight up became a series, I think people would be super into it.
I think it would be super dope.
Because it's like, well, what does that mean? What does that, like, because there's so many like little reveals and stuff like that, and how you find out Ruth's connection to Bo and Layla and stuff like that. Like, those are things it's like, and the season finale is, like, this thing happened. You're like, oh shit, it's so and so. Like, you would be much more interested in that, and you would be much more interested, like, I don't know, it feels like a supernatural or superhuman or superhero sort of version of The Handmaid's Tale in a way. Right? Like, it kind of has that feel to it.
It has that feel of like the Handmaid's Tale kind of mixed with, what's the X-Men show?
Which one?
The series that was on. Damn, I can't remember the name.
Oh, yeah.
No.
The one that was on Fox recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
Yeah, but
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, kind of like, all right,
like them on the run all the time.
Kind of on the run, it's grounded. And like, even like the whole point of the powers, like the powers is almost an after effect, but afterthought to what had happened with, what's her name again? Lead character? Ruthie. Like, she's like, yeah, she has these powers and all these things she can do, but her life had took a wild turn that had nothing to do with powers.
Right.
She ran away. She was going through these sieges, became a drug addict.
Right, exactly.
It's a spoiler.
Yeah, it's but 9 people saw this movie.
Yeah, the powers were like kind of just like an afterthought to everything else that was kind of going on within that family.
Right, and
which was dope.
Right, and like that's the thing about this movie that kind of made me think about, and not to super bring this up, but it kind of made me think about like the response to like Joker, right? That's coming out. Like, while Fast Color is not an amazing film, I enjoyed it, but it's not an amazing film. What it shows is you can use the superhero genre to dig into things that are a lot more complex and a lot more interesting than the surface level. Are they blowing shit up? Are they flying around? Are they doing, like, you can use it as a method to dig into other human things. Like, not every Western is about the gunfight. Sometimes the Westerns are about other things. Not every action movie is about how many cars you can blow up, but it's about other things. And Fast Color uses that same method of like, they get you there because the superpowers, and people are like, oh, it's interesting, but it's not really what it's about. Like, you only see it, like, the supernatural part, you see it like 4 times, and like, they're like, all right. Like, there's only one scene where I was like, all right, that was kind of cool. Like, yeah, I would steal a lot of things in that same method. By the way. Like, that's what I thought. I was just like, I'd have me like a little satchel and like, yeet, like, yeet. Yeah, I had that thing full of dust. Take it back home, like, ooh, new PlayStation? Oh shit, son! Like, like that part was cool. But there's not a lot of that. So if you're going into this thing and it's a big superhero thing and it just didn't work in that way, that's not what the movie's about. That is merely an allegory or just kind of a thread into the movie. Like, that's all it is.
And the trailers never really even gave you that indication that it was going to be like a big superhero type thing anyway. But
Yeah, this isn't Endgame.
this is
With black women. Like, that shit is not.
Like, yo, where's
Not at all.
Thanos, man? Fuck this movie.
Where's the purple guy? Like, he ain't gonna show up. But all in all, I thought it was okay. Like, yeah, that was okay. I probably lean closer to like a 3. But I thought it was okay.
That sounds about right.
But again, the allegory, I think, was the thing that at the end I was like, all right, that's kind of a clever thing, but you really gotta tighten up that whole middle part.
my
Yeah,
That second act.
just bring it in some.
Yeah.
my score may change.
Yeah.
They're probably good now.
Probably, yeah, you're right. No,
Yeah, there's no need
but
to
like,
be-
it might.
There's no need to be pushing almost 2 hours on this.
Oh no, this should have wrapped up a solid hour and 20 minutes. It did not need to be long. So the movie opens up with GuGu Mbatha-Raw playing this woman Ruth, and she is on the run.
Looking good.
She is a
She was in that movie.
Beyond the Lights.
Yes. Okay.
The story about Rihanna. Yo, I really like. We did that movie. Like,
did.
I really like that movie.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's actually very good, and she's very good in it. Look, through the vast majority of that movie, she's got her hair straightened, and there's that last scene where she goes, she takes
Go
her
to like Mexico, whatever.
Yeah, and then-
wherever they went.
and then she like has her hair natural, and that for me was like she's an 11 already. She was a 14 when she showed, and this she's just looking like a real accessible regular person, and she is absolutely fucking gorgeous the whole time. It's amazing. Even when she's thriving on the ground having a seizure, she could still get it. That's a weird thing to say out loud.
There ain't no spoon, baby.
Sorry. Oh, see, you're a terrible person. You're gonna get a letter. So she ends up. She's on the run. Because she has, superhero abilities, basically. And they don't really describe what they are at this point. So she ends up at this hotel or motel, and she orders like she orders a room and a half thing of water, which is...
It's a jug. It's a big ass like Deer Park jug.
Yeah, and it's like, what is it, like $50 or some shit like that?
She got the half. It was $26.
$26, right. Because water is scarce because they announced that it hasn't rained in 8 years.
I'm like, why?
Well, I mean, I guess the implication is that, again, because we have polluted the earth so poorly, this is the product of global warming, right? Is what you assume. And for some reason, black people still live in the Midwest, which is just
I don't know. Like, I couldn't
to
tell
me.
where. I couldn't tell where it took place.
This is basically where Andy lives now. it's exactly like that, which is crazy.
It was funny because she asked what town was this. I think she said Deer Park.
Did she?
I think so. I was
That's funny.
Oh,
I thought
like
she said
the
Detroit.
water.
Like
Interesting.
like the water. Yeah, we ain't got none.
$26.
Like, god damn,
Like, what?
It's super expensive. But they say that that's one of the things with global warming is that the price of water will be the thing that.
So what they did was jack the price of water up.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be Mad Max pretty soon.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be like, oh, we should have probably done something about that about 10 years
Let me
ago.
save my shit right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this with me. Good luck. So she gets this motel room and she sees this woman who's working there, and she's got her daughter with her, and then it sort of reminds her of an event, and they kind of push at that a number of times throughout the story, and they'll explain why later. She pays for her half gallon of damn near $30 worth of water.
Yeah, that's why it came up to like $70. The room and the water came to $70.
That's super wild. And she goes into the room. Because she had, what we forgot to mention is they show her escape from this place earlier, and you don't know why she's in there or whatever. She's got ropes tied around her hands that she's clearly broken out of, and so she gets to this motel room. She's clearly been bound, so she washes off her wounds and then kind of wraps them and stuff like that. And she's just a mess. And the world is just, by the way, just fucked up. Like, if you notice, like, the sink, they've ripped the faucet off. Like, the motel is taking the faucet off so you can't get any water. Like, the world is just fucked. I don't think people really realize, like, how bad sort of the future water wars are going to be. But it's going to be, like, the idea of fighting for resources is going to be nuts.
Waterworld.
Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible movie. That my stepfather loves. I
don't mind it so much.
Yeah, my mom always yells at me like, "You just like it because it's Mad Max on water. Stop watching that."
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong at all.
But he loves those movies. He loves Mad Max. So she's like looking at a map in her room and her hand starts shaking, and then she realizes like she's getting ready to have an episode. So she takes all the lamps and TVs and mirrors and shit off the walls and off the like dressers, and she lays them all down. And then she calls the front desk and she's like, look, you need to grab your daughter and get your daughter to a safe space or whatever, get away from, glass. And then she just hangs up the phone or drops the phone. And then she proceeds to have a massive seizure on the bed, causing an earthquake.
That's just kind of dope, though. Like that visual, watching her hand over the tremors kind of coming, and her on the bed, and just boom, it hits. That was pretty dope to watch. Yeah, which is it's funny because it's obviously like an after effect. So I just imagine when they were filming it, it's just her going
just shaking on the
right, like nothing is happening, and everyone else in the room filming it is just like
shake harder.
Yeah, keep going. Like,
we got it.
Yeah. Back at one. Why has it been 45 minutes? No reason. You good. So she leaves. She obviously leaves the motel. It has shattered all the windows and everything else. The police come and they're asking this woman like what happened, and she's kind of telling them what's going on.
That's a rough night of sex.
Yeah, that would not be a time that you'd want to be involved.
What's good for you, baby? Hey, shit. You see that fucking car?
Yeah, I broke a tectonic plate. No big deal. Wow, that was amazing. So we see her driving off sort of the next day. And she's kind of getting...
Car.
What's that?
She stole a car.
Yeah, she stole a car. And then she's driving along and she ends up at like a diner. One of the things, the most disgusting part of this movie is she ends up at this diner and she's having an egg, which is fine. But you realize that people are drinking instant coffee now, which is the most offensive thing to me. Because if you've never had instant coffee, it is awful.
Instant coffee
I don't
is
drink
fine.
coffee.
No. Do you drink real coffee?
No, I don't. I don't drink coffee like that anyway.
Only people who don't drink coffee would say that instant coffee is fine. Like Sanka is basically what slavery is.
Sanka is class, baby.
Still a thing?
Class.
I'm sure Sanka still
somebody
is.
still got it.
Yeah.
It's probably in McCrory's, Epstein's, some goddamn way.
Epstein's. Yo, Epstein's. Wow. You from Baltimore? Shit. Goddamn. Yeah, it's just hot water and then just like coffee crystals, and they're just like, it's fine. It's not fine. It's unacceptable.
Bougie ass. Get your life together.
Anybody who drinks real coffee, because they can't afford to use enough, like, they've got to give you only enough water for the cup. They don't got to like, we're going to brew all that. No.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I got some gourmet coffee for you. I'm going to give it to you.
No, I'm good.
No, seriously. It's like maybe like, it's like a whole case.
I don't trust you.
I'm serious.
Is it already ground?
I can't remember.
Yeah, if it's already ground, I don't want it.
It's from a couple years ago. I used to sell.
Like a couple of years ago. Listen to this guy.
Try roast it. No, I used to sell this shit called Organo Gold.
What?
It's one of those.
Nigga, this is like the cut coffee.
No, wait. No, it's one of those. What you call them shits? The marketing.
Oh, like
telemarketing?
Telemarketing or like vertical marketing. Or
that bullshit.
like a pyramid scheme. Damn. Yeah, you know what? You are an actor. Y'all try to do anything to make a dollar. I'll be a waiter. I'll sell coffee door to door.
Organo Gold.
Wow.
Gourmet coffee. Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert. If you gotta sell it like that, it is not good coffee at all. But so she's in this diner, and she's eating one egg because she's broke as shit, apparently.
That egg's runny as shit. Look, I need you to cook that a little bit better than that.
No, she had it right.
Do some of that yolk. Nah, man.
Sunny side up. You don't like sunny side up?
Hell no. Scrambled.
I don't
hard.
Scrambled hard. Get the fuck
and no
out of
cheese.
Here. You wildin', my nigga. Like, that's unacceptable.
I don't want no runny
I would
eggs,
throw those eggs in the trash.
That shit need to be wet.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind scrambled eggs. I'm not a huge fan of sunny side up eggs. I like over medium. Because if the whites in your eggs are not cooked, they fuck right off. No, I'm not a huge soft boiled egg fan.
See, I like sunny side up.
Yeah.
Pew.
I'll eat it, but I'm not like that is not my preference.
It's my go-to.
Yeah, it's not my go-to. So she's sitting there and she's sitting next to this guy who apparently can't mind his own goddamn business. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, all right, fine, leave me the hell alone. See, a black woman can't even have one single dippy egg without a white man involving himself in her life. And he basically is talking to her and he's like, hey, let me buy you a cup of coffee because clearly you're too broke to get this sweet, delicious Sanka. And she takes it because, I mean, shitty coffee still better than no coffee, I guess. And he's like, he's just trying to be a nice guy, seemingly.
Yeah, you white.
Yeah,
you're just talking to me for no reason.
Yeah,
no.
leave me alone. And she's like, yeah, thanks for the coffee. And he's like, all right, cool, I'm out. And so then she goes out to her car to get in her car, and the police are looking at her car. And he does a nice guy thing. He's like, hey, honey, I'm over here. Like, come on. Woo.
Like, no.
I'll take my chances with the cops. This motherfucker looks like a serial killer. Get out of here. So she jumps in the car with him to avoid having to deal with the police, because obviously the police are looking for whoever was involved in the whole earthquake thing, right? So she rides with him.
You gonna charge somebody for that shit?
What's that?
You gonna charge somebody for that? Were you involved with that earthquake? Look.
What? Fuck you talking
No.
Let me see your hands.
No. I'm good. So they're driving along, and he just like slowly starts asking questions. He's like, oh, I'm trying to, do something good for a person. It's like, go home and tell my wife I did a good thing. And like the entire time you could just you can feel her skepticism building.
Like, you know what? You can drop me off here. I'm good. I'll walk the rest of the way. But we're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Nah, I jumped out the car.
How would they go? How would they go over with your wife? Hey, I helped out this strange lady at Double T Diner today.
Nigga, if you don't get out of my face.
I
gave this super fine woman a ride to another town alone on a business trip. Man, if you don't even unpack your bags. just leave.
Out of goodness of my heart,
slick.
I want to impress you, baby.
Yeah, what kind of nah, That's because she already got a phone call. And I'm trying to sweep this shit under the rug. Like, no, knock it off. And he's like, yeah, so it's crazy. The cops came and looked at your car right as you came out. That's wild. That would be like if an earthquake happened and they were looking for somebody. Right. Just so happens in this town. Isn't that right, Ruth?
Oh shit!
She was like, nigga, what? and so he pulls over before she fucking I don't know, Superman punched him in the head or some shit. And so he's like, hey, look, I'm a scientist. I'm just trying to track you down, trying to give you some help or whatever. And while he's doing all this talking, she pulled out she pulled the blicky with the sticky.
Yes, the blicky, the tool, the ooh-wop.
The hammer.
The hammer.
Yeah, the reach.
The hammer's pretty good. Which is also another term for your dick, which is also hilarious.
Put the tool down. Put the hammer down, son.
So she pulls out the hammer, as it were, and this dude tries to reach for it, and she did what she's supposed to do. She shot that nigga right in the hand.
God damn. Wow.
Which that'll fuck your day up. I feel like that'll fuck your day up. She should have aimed a little bit better, but you know what? I get it. She didn't want to kill him. And so then she, much like any other person just in the middle of the desert, she had one bullet. That's all she could afford. And so she had to fight her way out of the car. And so she got away. She kicked this dude right in the face. Damn, she shot his ass right in the hand. That's fucked up. And then she ran off. And, I'm sorry, she had two bullets. Because one broke the glass, and then she had shot him in the hand, and then that was all she had. So she escaped. And so he tried to chase her, and she ends up basically back. She ends up at a bar, and again, this is where the allegory starts to make sense, right? She goes to this bar, and she's like, "Yo, you got food here?" And the woman's like, "Yeah, we do." She's like, "I ain't got no money though." It was like, I'm gonna go back to these other patrons. Like, what the fuck am I talking to you for? And she's like, look, I'm willing to wash dishes or something like that for food. And the bartender is a woman, right? And so she's just kind of like, all right, yeah, like women helping women, that type of shit. And so she decides that, yeah, I'm gonna let you clean up after us, but I'm gonna feed you, right? I don't feel like that's how reality works. No. Hey, I got no money. Get out. What the fuck are you doing here?
I mean, it's the future.
I can wash dishes. We ain't got no water.
Yeah. Right.
Anybody wash no goddamn dishes.
Bitch, I serve alcohol. Like, we just pour whiskey right on the glass.
Right.
And we just back and forth.
Just give it that shit, keep it moving.
Yeah, like, Like, that's it. Yeah, how does that work, by the way, in this future? Ain't nothing clean.
Yeah, you know, hygiene,
Everybody is
hygiene gonna be a little suspect.
Yeah, your immune system better be.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's stronger because you're just dealing with all kind of fucking just germs. As they say, like when you're a kid, you're supposed to walk around barefoot to boost your immune system.
Is that true?
Yeah. Like on grass and shit. Not
Concrete.
Not on concrete.
I feel like Terrence's point is very good, and I feel like white people don't really listen to that because they just had their kids out just walking down Baltimore streets and shit.
No, don't do that.
Not on concrete park heights,
But
like glass and shit.
yeah, like,
chest
what are you
naked. Like,
doing?
yo, what the fuck?
Like
Put
on,
shoes
on
on.
the actual earth.
Yeah.
not in the middle.
I'm trying to boost his
Yeah, we do that.
system.
We do that with my daughter in the backyard. It's like, and they were like, wipe my feet on. The earth is filthy. People don't recycle. Yeah, so she helps her out, lets her, scrub a dish with that, what I assume is Windex. I don't know. That's what we used to do. Clean everything with Windex when I used to work at the movies. I'm like, yo, this is not. The Windex is not a universal cleaner.
It's not a fucking disinfectant.
Yeah, not at all. Yo, if you eating food at a movie theater, you already the fucked up.
It is on fucking my Big Fat Creek wet.
Yeah, spray Windex on everything.
I'm elbow. Hold on, shit. Soak that for a minute.
It works. Put some Robitussin on it. So she allows her to eat and everything else. And so after the bar closes, she's like, Ruth says to the bartender, like, hey, is there a place to stay? And the woman's like, look, there's basically like kind of a motel kind of right next door or whatever. The people who owned it abandoned a number of years ago. You could stay there, but just make sure you find a room with a door. I'm like, yo, this sounds like Rape Central, my nigga. Like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there as a man. Fuck that. So she finds one and she puts a chair right up under the doorknob, which is a smart
thing.
Yeah, that's the smart money.
Get out of here.
I don't trust it.
Skeevy ass motels and shit. Yeah, I'm all right.
Yo, this is my nightmare scenario, by the way. Even in 2019, as the world is right now, is being trapped in the Midwest. Yo, this is what the Midwest feels like to me, and I know that's partially unfair, but like,
Is it
Not that much.
That's why I said partially unfair. Like, there's probably a Walmart somewhere around here, right?
It's probably like 20 miles away from your house. It's fine.
Now, I'm not living anywhere where there's like the closest neighbor is 50 days away. Fuck
Y'all
that.
Heartland. Y'all ain't got shit out there. I'm sorry. Shit.
No. Look, shout out to our Midwest listeners. I know you're listening to this on delay because it took you 9 days to download the goddamn episode, but we appreciate you.
It's even the scene when she
shit
goes to the
in the
convenience store. Like, it's not shit in there.
Yeah.
No, it's like Walking Dead days. Like, yo,
Yeah, no, but that's
no
what,
kind of inventory.
right, but that's what a lot of, like, if you've ever been to like really rural parts of America, like that's what it is. Like, which is crazy to me.
The most rural area I probably ever been to in my life. We actually lived there because my family was Air Force. Was Oscoda, Michigan.
God damn.
If you're in Oscoda, Michigan, shout out if you actually getting this feed right now. Oscoda was so far up the peninsula, we were literally like
Canadians.
the way we are like with DC right now, that's Canada.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The closest mall at the time that would have been like the equivalent of like a security mall was in Saginaw. That was 4 hours away.
4.
Detroit was 8 hours away, and Flint was like 2 hours.
And I've been to Flint. I almost went to college in Flint. Ain't nothing.
I mean,
in Flint,
luckily it was an
Michigan,
Air Force base, so you kind of got your own little town. We had
it's a
like the
world,
amenities and stuff, but even still, when you want to get off base, it was like,
How old were you when you lived there?
oh man, I was 15.
And how long did you live there?
We stayed there under the year. Did the year? Yo, you would go to people's houses. They have fucking moose heads, gun racks. Go to white chick's house. Yeah, come on over.
Nah,
like, yeah,
man.
you sure your dad gonna be okay with all these black dudes up in your house? Why he not there? Because that's a nice ass shotgun he got on the wall.
And he been waiting to use it.
Yo, man. All right.
He like, I wrote Dorian on that motherfucker.
But one quick story, we move on. To let you know how rural that shit was, I woke up one morning, my usual routine, go to the bus stop, wait for a little cheese bus, go to school. So I'm on a bus stop waiting.
Cheese bus, you're so Baltimore.
I'm waiting on a bus stop. Like, all right, looking, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, what the fuck is everybody? Nobody's on the bus stop. So I go to my buddy's Mike house, like, yo, what the fuck? Nobody going to school? Oh, yeah, nah. It's the first day of hunting season. We out today.
Nigga, what?
I'm like,
The first day of hunting
like, all
season?
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going back in the house. Yeah. We were up there, man.
Yeah, they ain't no.
trust
Well,
that shit, though.
I mean, I guess hunting season is all year round in Baltimore, but that's a whole different thing. Whole
Yeah,
different
they
thing.
closed that base down like 2 years after we left, though. But yeah,
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's nuts. How many bases did you live on? You know?
altogether, I'd probably say about maybe 6 to 8.
Wow.
Lifetime
You
wise.
guys. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
you
we
guys
did some
were real
overseas time, but I was like mad small.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of my like the ones
Were
I
you
remember,
born? Were you born overseas?
I was born over here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, just checking. Send your name to
Yeah,
Trump.
what the fuck?
Like, send him back.
Yeah, whatever.
This guy's from Nigeria. Get him out of here. So Ruth, after having what I assume is a horrible night's sleep in the Casa de Possible Rape motel, she takes, the woman packed her like a bag with like a sandwich and some shit in it. And she takes a backpack. She gets on the road and she heads over to her mom's. Her mom Bo, played by Lorraine Toussaint, to her house and to see her. And so we cut to Bo and Lila, this little girl, who I thought at this time was her daughter. I was just like, okay, like she seems mad old to have a daughter that young, but like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I was like, that age doesn't really line up, but
Out here fucking.
yeah, like, hey, I mean, look, you can either find water or bang. So I just assumed.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get it. So we find out like this little girl is like really good at fixing things, right? Mm-hmm. And like her whole thing is she's like how it's presented. Think of her as Forge from the X-Men, right? As I like to. And so she's like really good into fixing like mechanical things, and she's like working on a truck, and she just talks about fixing an old record player and talks about like how she really enjoys doing that. So I was like, all right, cool. Does she have a mechanical leg? Because that's kind of dope. And then we see Bo, again played by Lorraine Toussaint. She goes out onto the front porch after letting the little girl go to bed, and she's smoking a cigarette. And this is like the first indication of sort of her background that you get. As she's smoking a cigarette, it disintegrates while on fire, which was a cool effect.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's all right, that's dope.
That was a cool effect. And it disintegrates while it's on fire, and the fire is swirling around and everything in front of her. And as it's doing that, here comes Ruth, walks up, and she's like, "Hey, Mom," and then she
shouldn't smoke. She's like, what the
oh shit! Like apparently she has no spidey sense at all. She just has disassemble powers. And so she like the cigarette and everything falls to ash on the ground. And so they start talking, and she's like, "Look, I'm back. I know I've been gone for a long time." And then Bo reassembles the cigarette still lit with smoke and everything back into her hand and continues smoking.
She's not a real black smoker though.
I don't know what that means.
No, she should have showed a scene with her packing them down.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's how I know this is acting.
Like,
and she smoked way too professional, right? Yeah.
They have it hanging off a lip.
Yeah. The fuck you doing back? Just somehow magically dangling and also like working on an alternator at the same time.
My curtains you got on.
God damn it. So we find out that Bo and Ruth had like a real falling out, and part of it is because Ruth was just like I gotta go. Ruth mentions that she's been sober for 11 months at this point.
And she had the 6-month chip in the beginning of the movie.
Right, exactly.
When she was in the hotel room.
Right, so she explains like, "Hey, I'm sober now," and Bo is like, "Look, I don't need you back here because you could be a danger to Lila." Yeah. And so she puts because it's her fucking daughter. She conveniently had a bed set up in the barn, which was weird. And
never knowing your wayward child will return.
Yeah, but like, get your drug addict ass in the barn. Like, oh, thanks.
But
next to the pigs. And so she gives her some food and lets her chill out there. And then we get like a scene of there being this massive earthquake that happens inside the house that wakes up Lila and Bo, and you see Bo take Lila out to the barn, and she's like, "Look, you chill here. I'm gonna go into the barn, find out if the kid from the Superman comics is in there." 'Cause apparently, like, the only people who are in mangers or barns are superheroes or Jesus or Jesus analogs, right? Or that little motherfucker from Brightburn.
He was in Endgame.
Yep.
Who was he?
He was in the spacesuit.
Yeah, he
when Ant-Man came back.
Oh, right. Oh, he was playing him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just left his ass alone. Like, no.
Connected universe. Oh, shit.
James Gunn is involved. It's like, how do we make this happen? The Avengers find dirty Superman. So Bo goes and gets Ruth, and she's like, "Hey, Lila, this is your mother."
I hate fucking up.
Yeah. She causes shit. And so the three generations are kind of reunited.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, the movie sort of takes this sort of second act to kind of reestablish their relationship to the three generations. And it becomes a bit of a slog at this point, right? As they're like slowly but surely trying to like rekindle or repair, ironically, the relationship between Bo and Ruth, and completely kickstart the relationship between
Ruth and Lila.
Like,
the setup was good. The setup was good. Like, from the moment the movie started to kind of set you up in this world, kind of give you a brief idea of what's going on. Boom, boom, going nice pace.
Right,
nice
like
pace.
I think from the beginning to here. Yeah, and everybody was just like, "We're out. We'll see you in 45 minutes."
And the movie was like, "Hold on, baby."
Yeah, just chill out. And it was just like, yeah, because from this point, from the beginning to the first roughly 40 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Right.
And then it starts to like super slow down, and they start introducing characters who don't even talk, and they're like, "We're just this scientist, and the bad guy's looking for."
Right.
I'm like, who the fuck is the guy with the beard? This motherfucker said nothing the whole time. He tapped on the top of the car like, "Let's go." Who are you? Who are
That's
you?
the mystery.
Right. I'm like, that's cool. It's a mystery, but like,
My name is Strategy.
yeah, like he just showed up. I was like, all right, dog.
Fine, whatever, sure.
Right. It's just like bad guys with beards and sunglasses. So
Micah.
The Facebook avatars.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys are both right. Mike is basically a Facebook avatar. That's true. He's got the personality of one. That's just weirdly mean. But fuck him. So we then come to, so it's like the scientist, again, from this sort of like nebulous government agency.
And not trying to find them. I'm like, what are you
But for why though? You know what I mean? Like,
well, he said they want to run some tests. When she was in the car with him, he's like, "Yeah, we're going to take you in. We're going to run some tests. We can try to help you figure out what this is all about," kind of thing.
In other words, we're going to gut you.
Right.
but like,
You're going to ET your ass.
but like the thing is, like, it would have been more interesting if they said, and I'm not trying to tell people how to write a movie or anything, but it would have been more interesting if you had tied why they want to experiment or why they want to study them to what's happening with the Earth. Right? You know what I mean? Like, they spoiler alert for 30 minutes into the future of the movie, like they talk about how Ruth has the power, like when she's having a seizure and causing these earthquakes, she has the power to move tectonic plates.
Right. That have never moved.
If that's true, why wouldn't you tie it to like the reason the Earth is fucked is because these tectonic plates moved? And we're trying to figure out how to help you so we can fucking move them back and like cause rain again or what? Some sort of like, Ruth, you are the one who's fucking the Earth up, or which would have been more positive. Hey, the Earth is fucked up. We could use you to fix the Earth. But like, they never get into that, which is, again, to your point, it just kind of leaves that string there for no reason.
I'm like, and my other thing is, okay, when she has her seizures, like she talks about having to bind her. Like, what does that do exactly?
It does nothing.
Like, what is binding her hands to something so they're not moving? She's still having a fucking seizure.
Keep her from punching herself in the face?
Keep her from, like, I was like, I don't understand the point of that.
Keeps her from grabbing the spoon?
Because it don't work.
Right. Like, none of it, like when people have seizures, you try to stop them from swallowing their tongue, possibly, stuff like that. But they don't bound a kid with seizures like, yeah, you'll be fine now.
Put
Like,
that motherfucker down.
it's not fucking Jack Nicholson's Wolf where they just tie that nigga to a radiator so he can go out and murder people. Like, that's not how seizures work. So it's like this. Yeah, it's like a weird fundamental misunderstanding
I didn't
of seizures.
why binding her hands would help anything, because clearly it doesn't.
Right, she's still having
Maybe she
seizures.
won't fall off the bed. I don't know. Shit.
Because it hit her head.
Boom. Like, shit.
Oops. By the way, her special abilities, or the stuff that's when she has the seizures, is literally the same exact issue that Professor X had in Logan.
Logan, yeah.
That's how he killed all the X-Men, right? He was having fucking seizures and just like basically stopping time and just fucking killing people. It's like, oops. So yeah, she's basically Professor X.
Or Storm.
Yeah, at the end, sure.
Yeah.
By the way, I was thinking about it as I'm watching. I'm like, oh, Lorraine Toussaint. If this movie was made if the X-Men movies were made in 1990, she could have been a solid ass Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1985, 1990, she'd have been right about.
85? How she ain't that goddamn old?
I'm just looking at the age by which they always show the X-Men, which is fairly young.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how old Lorraine
She's
Toussaint
probably in her 50s, late 50s.
Yeah, watching her bind her hands right now. Like, yeah, shit's still fucking up. This ain't helping, Mom.
Yeah, she's 59.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was 1990, she'd have been 30 years old. That's exactly right. Yeah, they really fucked up because she's got the gravitas, like as an actress, she's got the look. I know for some reason we don't want to pick a Storm who's actually,
Black.
or not even, I shouldn't even say black, but just
Darker skin.
like fully black, like not a half.
Get it
half
right,
black.
Marvel. I trust you, though. I trust you.
Yeah, I think they're going to be like, yo, we cannot hire Alexander Shipp to do this. Yeah, she's a Trinidadian. Like, yeah, it would have worked. Like, I feel like she would have kind of nailed that. That there's an actress choice that most people would not have thought about. But like when I saw her, I was like, yeah, that was a fucking missed opportunity. She would have super nailed that shit in 1990. Or shit, even in 2000, she'd only been 40. Yeah, she did nail it. And fine. Yeah, she's still fine. Anyway, I'm like looking at her Wikipedia page. I don't have an issue with the way she looks at all.
She had a nude scene in Orange is the New Black. I remember that.
I too remember that.
Okay, who?
She had a nude scene in Orange is the New Black.
Word?
Yeah. There was no issues there. I was like, okay. Well, I'm just reading some of her Wikipedia page. That's weird. So yeah, at this point,
Lisa Bonet.
So at this point, you get a scene of Bo gets Lila to show Ruth her powers, right? And that, in fact, that she also has the same powers as them, which is she's able to disintegrate things and then reassemble them. But there was this whole notion of they cannot fix what is already broken, right?
Right, yeah.
So like, if you take this bowl and it's fixed and you smash it, they can't just reassemble it and fix it. Which then is revealed that Ruth can no longer use her power because she's starting to have these seizures and like,
Yeah.
So she hasn't been able to use.
Really knew how to control them to begin with.
Right.
Like she never was able to like fully grasp what she was able to do.
Right. Until the end.
Yeah, the whole thing of you can't fix what's already broken out, that probably was also like pertaining to her as well because she was broken.
Right. Which I thought.
So.
Which I thought was going to be their way of having like. I thought they were going to do like Lila in the end could fix something that was already broken and then fix her mother. Right. Because that's the thing we didn't mention is revealed is that Ruth is obviously Lila's mom. And I thought that's the way they were going to go. They don't go that way. Which is kind of a shame because that would have been kind of a cool thing.
Well, technically,
I guess
in
maybe
a way
she did
because what happens when she finally
pulls it together again.
Or stop the seizures from happening was, well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, that's true. You're actually right. So they show that she can do this and how she can see what they don't call it fast color, but that's obviously where they get the title from. Is when she reassembles something, she sees like all these colors and everything else. Right. And it's like really this amazing thing. And Ruth lets Lila know that she's never been able to see the colors, which is kind of a big deal, right? It's only been sort of described to her. I did like when she's like, show your powers, and all she does is like lift the bowl and drop it. I was like,
Yeah, this
your powers are
bullshit.
mad weak.
Yeah, I did have a moment like, man, fuck out of here, kid.
Ooh, you moved the bowl. Fuck outta here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what you're
big
doing.
deal, big deal. But then we find out like this local sheriff is he finds out about the earthquakes, and so he's looking to figure out what's going on. Right, more on him later. At one point, Bo sits down and reads sort of a book of history of their of the women in their family, about how they also had these same powers, exactly the powers to disintegrate and reassemble things. And again, this plays into at least my thoughts on the allegory of it being about women, right? Like this idea of you passing down your femininity and the power of that femininity to other women. Because there are no sons, right? They're just women. They're just women.
They might throw them off the cliff like Themyscirans.
Yeah, just like,
Amazons. That'd be good. Shit.
yeah, we don't need that. Y'all niggas is just trouble. So it plays to this idea, and they're looking in the book to try to find any information that could possibly help Ruth get rid of her seizures or control her power, so that she can, be all she can be. Lila comes to them and is like, look, can we go into town so I can get some stuff? I think I can fix the truck. Like, I'm super close to fixing this truck. And she's like, all right, let's go and do this. And at one point, like, they're doing some practicing to try to get Ruth to get in touch with her powers again. She ends up breaking a window.
Yeah, I'm looking at the scene right now.
Right. And it was meant to be like, again, her powers can't be quite focused,
Right.
even when she can kind of tap into it. And there's a whole idea of Ruth and Lila, like Ruth is trying to get Lila to see if she can reassemble something that is already broken. She tries to reassemble the window. It doesn't work. And Lila gets really mad at her, like, bitch, I told you this shit don't work. I told you. Like, you wildin'. And it was kind of funny. She's like, she breaks the window, and Lila goes up. She's like, they're outside and see the window break. And she's like, oh, I'm going to go and see what happened. But she was up in that window mad fast. Like, this shit, I was kind of like, you could have had the two of them talking as she got up there. It was like, I'm going to go check. I was like, oh, she got flash powers? Like,
Fucking super speed. The speed force.
yeah, I was like, that didn't make any sense. But it was fine. So they go into town to try to get some stuff. The sheriff is asking around about, like what's going on, who, about the earthquake, about this woman showing up at the bar, yada, 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 right? Again, this is all a slog. Like all of this.
Yeah, yada, yada, in the best part.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
No, I mentioned the bisque.
Oh. You can't yada,
I
yada
just
sex.
saw that episode the other day.
That episode's fucking hilarious.
That show was stupid.
Well, it is.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly ridiculous. We see, after they go to the store, we see Lila uses her thief powers.
Yes.
She basically disintegrates tools in a store, throws them in her fucking satchel, gets back home, throws the dust on the ground, and then reassembles them. Yo, I would steal everything if I had these powers. This is a genius use of those powers. Who's using it to do anything else? Oh, I'm going to do it for good. Fuck good. Yo, you know how many computers and fucking cameras and shit, like... I'm stealing everything.
Oh, man.
Yo, this studio would be fucking lit.
Like, sorry, need any help? No, I'm good.
Nah, yo, I'm all right. Go look over there for a second. It's amazing.
Get up on this porn.
Yeah, like it's just like I would use that I would be a master thief. Like I just would. I would. You wouldn't steal things? I would.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially as a kid. Like little kids are klepto as shit. They're like,
Especially if you can't tell that.
oh yeah, you can't tell? Shit. What happened to that cell phone?
Can I get that G.I. Joe aircraft carrier? No. Okay.
All right. How much is it? $300?
Don't worry about it.
$3.99.
Ow.
Get out of here. All you gotta do is just like make sure you get all the dust in your pocket and shit.
You've been missing a piece.
Like, oh man.
Like, you chill a fucking
forgot the wing.
laptop.
Shit.
You're missing the fucking processor. Like, fuck.
I gotta go back to BJ's. Yeah, but she uses it to steal a bunch of tools. I'm like, yo, this kid is mad boring. She uses it to steal a crescent wrench. You loser. Could have gotten a Ferrari. Come on, knock it off. So she uses that. She uses those tools to finally work on the truck in the way that she wants. And we see Ruth and Lila trying to sort of rekindle. Like Ruth is trying to rekindle her relationship with her daughter, and she's like showing her albums. And I couldn't help but laugh. She's like showing her albums, and she's like, "Look at this thing. This is from back in the day, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album." And I was like, Lauryn Hill still ain't showing up.
That was kind of cool.
Lauryn Hill is still 28 years late to whatever. And it's like, she made one album and it was really good. And then she ain't do shit else. But we still praise it. Like she's one of the greatest fucking musicians of all time on one good album.
Yeah, nah,
never
bro.
proved that she could do it again.
I got off that train a while ago.
Didn't necessarily.
I was still kind of caught up in it for a minute, but
Yeah, she didn't write a lot of it either.
Yeah, I give that one up. Like, yeah, nah, Laura.
Hey, look, it's a dope ass album, but like I need people to relax. She's one of the greatest female MCs. How do you know that?
Like, she was on the Fugees.
Yes. Hey, look,
so was
and
Pros.
Look. All right. What was it? What was his song like? Blue Angels that he did afterwards and shit.
I don't know.
No,
what
what
you
the
talking about.
fuck?
Yeah, he did.
What the hell is that?
Nah, yo, he did a song like Blue Jets or some shit like that.
Pro shit was trash. I barely did could tolerate Wyclef or solo, but Pros no. No, you know what? Pros had that shit.
Nigga, it was called Blue Angels. Knock it off.
He had Ghetto Superstar off that fucking Bulwark soundtrack.
Yeah, with
him and ODB.
With him, ODB, and Maya.
And Maya, yep. Maya.
Who, Pros or you're talking about
Pros, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. He's not good. Yeah, Blue Angels. I thought I remember that song.
Hey, yo, battle's not a battle. Battle was about if it's snake that's rattle.
No. Lauryn Hill tore both them niggas up with their own album. That's a goddamn shame, yo. It's a goddamn shame. You too close, man. You too close. Yeah, Pros is a waste. No.
He uses money for good.
Yeah.
Did he?
Maybe so.
Oh, what did he do? Didn't he go homeless for like a week, something like that?
For a week?
I forgot. He did something. He did like a documentary or something like that.
He went homeless for a week? Nigga, I was in college. I was broke as shit for a week too. That don't count. I wasn't homeless.
Michelle and financier charged in illegal. Wait, what?
Yo, Dave got in trouble for mad crimes
to raise money for Obama.
See?
Get the fuck out of here, Pros.
I mean, Lauren was definitely dope. Definitely dope as shit.
She could have been amazing.
But her catalog doesn't hold up to say, yo, she's the best or one of the best. Nah.
I wouldn't.
She got more work in than just that one album.
Yeah.
I love her to death, but nah. And I'm never going to see her again.
I'm never paying to see Lauren. Yo, that's
last time I did it was like maybe 5-6 years ago. Like,
that shit's your own fucking risk.
I'm cool, man.
Did she show up?
Yeah, she showed up mad late and turned every goddamn song into a dance track. That was the fastest set I ever saw in my goddamn life. Because I know X Factor is a slow song.
Yeah,
that shit was a British club mix when she got done with that bitch. Like, careful. I know you careful. Peace. Like, yo, god damn. Yeah, but I heard she doesn't. I heard she doesn't have the rights to her music. That's why her variations when she performs it are so far left. Yeah, so
that sucks. I heard once that Lauryn Hill, she won't talk to the people who like work for her, like maids and shit.
Yeah,
she writes this shit on a post-it note and just sticks it on their chest like, "Give me a fucking lemonade." I'd be like,
no.
Eat a dick. Fuck you, yo. Don't talk to me like that. Yeah, don't write to me like that.
I'm gonna try to find an interview. Who was it? The guitar guy, black Clasper. What's his name?
Glasper?
Yeah, I think it's him. Even him or Cody Chestnut. One of those two had an interview where they spoke about Lauren behind.
I know Robert
scenes.
Glasper did.
It might be probably him. He's like, yo, she ain't shit.
Really?
He
just laid everything
her
out.
the fuck out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know why people pay to see her anymore. Like, nice try, Lauren. Not gonna happen for me. So after showing her the vintage Lauryn Hill album, she shows her a Nina Simone album, which I thought was really funny because she's like it doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to in this house, you like Nina. It was like, yeah, that's kind of my house.
That's valid.
Yeah. Also, just a side note. Lorraine Toussaint could have probably played Nina Simone at some point too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
No. I believe that. My girl did a Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana
did a great
as Nina
job,
Simone.
a masterful show.
Nigga, that is one of the most offensive castings.
How you put a nigga in blackface?
right.
How does that work?
She brought it home, baby.
She had like a fake witch's nose on and shit. Like,
that
yo.
shit was bananas.
Like, nah,
that shit
yo.
was completely unacceptable.
Like, no, I'm Nina Simone. Bitch, no, you're not. What's the black chick from?
Michonne.
No, not Michonne. The other chick who actually looks a lot like Nina Simone.
Crazy my girl. What's her name? Damn it, Michaela Cole.
Yeah, Michaela Cole.
That's the one. It's Crazy Eyes or somebody else?
No, that's the one from Chewing Gum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean this.
That's my show.
I mean this as sincerely and as seriously and as with as much respect as I can.
It's gonna be fucked up.
She has some serious soup coolers. Like she does.
That's exactly what the fuck you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Lord.
and I'm okay with it.
They're great.
Yeah, no, she's
fine.
Yeah.
She's fine as shit.
Yep, absolutely. But she looks just like Nina Simone. It's crazy. She super does. And she said if Nina Simone's family was like okay with it, she would play it. I'm like, yeah, this is good casting, by the way. She doesn't need to put on fucking physical prosthetics to play the character. It was offensive.
Man, we should log through this fucking movie anyway.
Yeah, because this part is fucking bored.
All right,
It's
so
super boring.
since we're kind of on this vein, who shaped your musical taste?
Wow, that's a
Friends, family, like
not artists.
I mean, 'cause for the most part, like the conversations we've had watching each other's pages, I see we all kind of are all over the place as far as music wise.
Oh yeah,
Like interests and it's kind of diverse. Like, so how'd you?
Like every other black mother in America, wake your ass up at 7 a.m. to clean the damn house. My mom would have music on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get your ass up. Like, but I don't even want to. Get your ass up. Yes, Luther Vandross is playing. Like, get your ass.
Doom, 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 doom,
Anyway, you'd be like, all right, like, fucking working. I would say it's definitely my mom. 100%. And just like any fucking family parties, like there's always music on. There's always music on in my house for the most part. Like, it just is. I'm like the other day I was in here. What was I listening to? I was in here fucking rocking Square Biz by Tina Marie. I love that song, yo. I fucking love that song. My daughter is like, nigga, what is wrong with you?
You don't know about Square Biz, baby.
Oh, you gonna be scrubbing a pot on a Saturday morning to that shit playing in the background the second you can reach the sink. Make no mistake. Yeah, so it's probably my mom. It's probably doing this. What about you?
My father was a DJ.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that'll do
And he was like a DJ during the beginning of hip hop.
Oh man.
Okay.
So there's a lot of that. But he also was a DJ during like disco era.
Okay.
But he was a super young DJ.
Right.
He was DJing since he was like 13, 14 years old.
Is he such and such?
His name was DJ Quick.
Oh, all right.
That's Quick. It was a Quicksilver, something like that.
Well, there's also a
My
Quicksilver.
father was also a DJ as well.
Somebody owe him
Oh,
some
really?
money.
So, like,
Wow, your mom has a real thing?
She had a thing for DJs apparently.
Hey, last night DJ saved my life.
I love that song.
Hey, look, because Terrence's dad was in there like, yeah, hey, that's me.
That
Shirt.
so
Venus flytrap.
I could probably find a picture of that.
That's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, that
Taco
so I love disco music. Like disco is dope. It
is. It really gets a bad. And I'm serious. It gets such a terrible rap from white people that disco is terrible. Yeah. Nigga, disco was the shit.
That shit is steeped in racism.
Oh, 100%.
Steeped in
racism and homophobia. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
as to why like they had that whole disco as they did that shit in the
baseball stadium.
Yankee Stadium. I can't remember what stadium.
I think it's Chicago.
It was either Shea or Yankee.
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait.
No.
Was it New York or was it Chicago?
No, it wasn't. New York.
Yeah, that fucking DJ, the Chicago DJ did that shit. Yeah.
The night disco died.
Yeah. That R&B, I think is my favorite genre. And then hip hop.
R&B.
I got a lot of hip hop.
See, I like
R&B.
Yeah,
I like rhythm and or blues of an older era. I don't like. I just like in the '90s when it started being like all jagged edge type of shit.
Yeah. That was like the late '90s.
Yeah, that's when I was like, and I'm done with this. Like that's where when people are just like, but what about that? I'm like, nope. Like it's just that's where that genre died for me. But like back in the day, like
Yeah.
All we listen to.
And then
We ain't get no younger, baby. We might as well do this shit. Damn, all right.
Yeah, that was it for me.
meet me on the altar with our white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do
Look,
like what kind of fucking?
I ain't the most sentimental motherfucker in the world. But no, that's right in line with Martin. Like, all right, Gina, I will marry you.
Damn,
are you happy?
Are you happy?
Damn.
Yeah, what kind of fucking proposal is that? Nigga, get out of my face. And then my love for rock music came from my uncle because he played guitar.
Okay.
Like I remember the first time I saw the video for One from Metallica.
Yeah,
I think it came out like 1987.
Yeah, super late.
And like I hadn't really heard music because like rock music. That is way different. Like heavy metal, like it's so because they have a bunch of different like the songs. They have different sections. Like if you hear the beginning of one, it's like it's like mellow, it's super mellow, but then it gets a little, and then it progresses, and by the end, it's just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like I love that song, but he learned the guitar solo. He wanted to learn that guitar solo at the very end of the song.
Yeah, it's pretty stellar.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that was like the beginning of me like rock music.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to old shit like Black Sabbath and all that other like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I listen to everything.
Yeah.
I don't listen to country music though. I cannot get
There are a few country songs that kind of make it into my playlist.
I got a couple under my belt. Yeah.
Yeah, like a few, but like any of that sort of like new age country music that but like there are a couple of like slow country.
Well, you don't
Johnny
like
Cash I fuck with.
You don't like Honky Tonk Donk?
I don't know what that is, but that feels offensive to me.
That sounds racist.
Nah. That sounds like a racist white dude who fucked a black chick one time and he out here wilding.
It's a real song. I bullshit you not.
Oh, I'm sure it's real. I
Donk. No nigga.
I don't like the Beatles.
I like the Beatles, but I like the Beatles. Like their early stuff, the early Beatles stuff it's a little too like popcorny shit. Like I don't want to hold your fuck off.
Right.
Like, grow up, nigga.
Once they started
when they started doing drugs, that's when the Beatles became. No, seriously, there is a delineation between pre-drug. Yeah,
Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, like it is a delineation between like, hey everybody, and then they were just like. Oh shit, son! Like they were playing with fucking sitars and shit. Like they went off the fucking reservation. Like they did. They became a completely different band. They just
like I'd take the Rolling Stones over fucking.
Oh yeah,
some of the Rolling Stones stuff. I like.
Over them. But
like those niggas are still alive.
They still don't know how.
Rich is still alive.
How?
Yeah, they are still touring. How, yo? They're gonna die right on stage.
Yeah, I don't want to be at that show.
It's like, oh shit.
There's a whole bunch of different people shit. Man, my mother, like one of my mother's favorite songs is "Gangsta Bitch." Don't ask me why.
You know what?
Your mom's favorite movie is Die Hard.
Favorite movie is Die. I like. She's
based on the stories you told.
She's
still fucking young.
Yeah, she's still pretty young.
Like she was 16 when she had.
Yeah, my mother be doing.
Like, there's not that big a gap.
And you know, my mother be doing.
She loved hip hop. Like her favorite fucking hip hop artist, I think, is CL Smooth, Pete Rock, CL Smooth.
Oh.
What is it?
Didn't reminisce over you?
That's one of her favorites.
Nigga, if you had a black cookout and that song don't play, leave.
Leave. First off, I think that's like a perfect song. Period.
That song is
perfect.
Yeah, it's one of the few perfect songs.
He's tried. But my mother's on that.
You could also play it at a funeral and be kind of classy about it. Like you could, right? You really could. Like
it works on
it works.
levels.
Yeah, you'd be like, damn, I missed that.
I missed that nigga Troy.
Like, oh shit. But you also be like, yo, give me some more of that barbecue though. Like it works in so many occasions. Like, keep it.
The main ingredient, that album.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And
John, of course, same thing. Wake your ass up. But my grandparents owned a couple record shops growing up.
Oh, really? That's kind of dope.
So I got exposed to a lot of shit with that. And of course, that generational thing. So the Johnny Mathis, Engelbert Humperdinck, like wow shit, you know.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah, right. You know, Frank Sinatra, the Sammy Davises, of course, and then my mother and my aunts records. You know, they always hitting out, and my mother was all over the place. Like even now, I got to kind of rein her in. And she'd be like, "Yeah, I like that cut." First off, it's not a cut.
Like watch yourself, mom.
What's that cut by that DMX dude? What bitches want from a nigga? I like that beat. No, you won't be getting that single. Fuck no. But my sister fuck around buy it for her, so I'll confiscate it later.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, like growing up, like
and my mother loves DMX.
But yeah, growing up, she played everything.
Doesn't like this.
She played like the Earth, Wind and Fires, Luther Vandross, Commodores. But at the same time, she loved Rod Stewart. She rocked fucking Tears for Fears, Eurythmics. She fucking loves Van Halen and David Lee Roth is her fucking dude forever. Like, she's all about Diamond Dave.
I
Fuck that
hate
shit.
Van Halen to the core of me. If you play the song "Jump" by Van Halen, I will jump the fuck out of a window. I hate that song. If you like Van Halen, fuck off, unsubscribe. I hate that song, yo. I hate them. They're the worst.
I'm not a hair metal. Nah, I don't like none of that.
I hate
Like,
And actually,
I do fuck with Whitesnake though. Like,
nah.
yo,
I do like Here I Go Again. All right.
look. Speaking of that song specifically, so there is a playlist that we play for my daughter when we're like putting her down to sleep, and it's just light piano music of regular songs, right? And like it'll have like All of Me is on there by John Legend,
Right.
but it's just the piano non-lyric versions of those songs played by other people.
That was so weird to me. Yeah.
Yo, it is super
There
weird.
was something. There was one you were playing a couple weeks ago when I was walking out. I was like, "Is that what the fuck is?"
Yeah, it's probably like the Lion King song or something like that.
No,
That's
it was
one
like
of them.
it was. I think it was like a rock song. And I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
There's
is this?
one. There's one. Like it's a Mumford and Son song that I
don't
like
even
and stuff
know
like
who
that,
they are.
right? And it's like a good song, right? Like there's a number of songs, and I'm always like listening to be like, what song is that? Because it sounds familiar. Yo, we were listening, like it was playing, and I'm like, nigga, that's "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake. Yo, it's like what the fuck?
in piano form.
Yes,
That's
it's super weird, dude.
No,
It's super
I don't like
fucking-
that song to begin with.
Hey,
I couldn't
like,
imagine
again,
that shit in
that's the
piano
shit.
form.
Again,
No.
that shit slaps.
It doesn't. No, it don't. But yeah, like one of our little rituals me and my mother had was like it was Friday night videos and shit. We just sit there Friday nights and watch fucking videos.
Oh, shit.
Everything fucking come on.
Jukebox?
Yeah, so of course hip hop. That's my thing. It's my favorite. But I know at one point I got away from fucking with rock music for a little while. But I came back to it probably like near the late 90s.
Yeah.
And started kind of jumping back in there with the Metallica shit, the Linkin Parks, and fucking Fuel, a couple other ones.
Oh, I fuck with Fuel.
Radiohead, Bush.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely back in the day. Like it's the music I listen to is so all over the place. Like one of my favorite, or what I find funny is when people are like, I only listen to hip hop, I don't listen to no other music. I'm like, yo, the niggas you listen to
Listen to other shit.
other music.
Right.
Like, where do you think they found all this shit to sample? Like, they listen to other music. It's so weird. Like, it's hilarious. What is it? I want to say it's fucking Hall & Oates. Like, Method Man, like the way he says his name in music.
M-E-T-H-O-D.
Nigga, that's a Hall & Oates song. You know?
Exactly.
Like, he didn't come up with that.
And I don't trust anybody that don't like Hall & Oates. Fuck you.
No, second greatest group to ever come out of Philly.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here.
I don't trust nobody.
I
I don't
almost got
trust
to see them in
nobody.
concert once. I was so pissed because I was out of town. I was like,
Fucking Michael McDonald shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Nigga, Michael McDonald for a hot minute, Michael McDonald was black.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like, yo, fucking Regulate by Warren G is a Michael McDonald song.
Yeah.
And nigga, that beat is
Like-
hard as shit.
It's like they didn't change it.
Nope.
No, they just
Ride
listen to
ride
shit.
it out.
They just yanked that bitch out of there and just threw it in there and added some drums.
I don't know what was going on, like the late.
Yo, Michael McDonald definitely had mad black chicks around him when he had that beat.
Late mid 70s through the 80s, yo, white people were getting it, especially them British motherfuckers.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Musically, they was rocking the fuck out.
Yeah, they were.
put some
They
shit
were.
out.
Like, look, I fuck with Duran Duran. Like, that's look, this is the greatest 80s band.
Yeah, I
of all
was,
time.
I was just listening to the Reflex when my damn tire blew out.
That's fucking hilarious. You're like,
I want to ride and I want to get off. Boom.
See, you should have been listening to Lauryn Hill's one album. You've been all right.
man.
That's funny. All right, so back to this movie. Where
are we?
we're somewhere.
Hopefully at the end. All right, I'm going to fast forward. So,
She was fixing it. No, that was after.
look, she done fixed the car. We got 20 more minutes of this shit. Sheriff shows up. They're like, oh, she fixed the car. This is great. And sheriff shows up. This white dude, and he's like, hey, everybody, how's it going? It's like, and immediately when he showed up early, I was like, so he's the grandfather. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I was like, that's his fault. That's her.
that's her father. He's
He
obvious.
hit it.
Like, because she likes skin.
Yeah. And I also
Lorraine
go,
Toussaint,
yeah, you gonna have to throw a little bit of cream into this coffee to make GuGu Mbatha-Raw. Like, knock it off. So this white dude shows up and he's like, hey, I'm your, like he says to Lila, he's like, hey, I'm your grandfather. And Lorraine Toussaint is like, man, if you don't get your white ass away from my kids. But she still loves him, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no animosity.
He's a
right?
solid actor too. Like one of the character actors, you always see him over and over again.
You're like, who's that dude? Like, yeah, that dude. Like, you know, if he's in it, you're like, he's gonna put in a solid performance. And he's like, look, these random scientist government folks, they do know that you're here. They're gonna come for you, kind of thing. And so he just came to tell Lila that he is in fact her grandfather, and like he loves her very much, and try to figure out what's going on. Ruth runs away. She's like, I gotta take the car. I gotta roll. I gotta leave you guys because I'm putting you guys in too much danger. So she rolls, and then the car runs out of gas, and so she's like running in the desert she's running in the desert, and she just has she ends up having a seizure, and she's like grabbing the ground, and it's just fucking shaking and causing another earthquake. And then we get a flash to what she has been they had been flashing back the whole time. And it was that she had a seizure after she had Lila. She had a seizure and burst a pipe in a room, and it had filled with water, and Lila almost drowned. Like, she was underwater, and she found her and saved her.
Man.
Which, by the way, this is how you know it's a science fiction movie. She'd been brain dead. Like, she'd been under that water for more than like
filthy.
Yeah, disgusting. And you've been under there for like 9 seconds as a baby. Like, that's a rat. That's, by the way, it's one of my greatest fears.
Yeah.
Like, taking care of my daughter is like one of my greatest fears. Like, we have the thing in the tub that you put her in so she's not just in the water. Yeah. Right. I only take my eyes. I'm just like physically have my hand on her. I'm like to grab a towel.
Nope. That's how you do it. Fuck, that's how you do it.
See if my eyes can go, and I was just like, No, like that's my big fear.
Yeah,
like,
that's how you do it though. Shit.
Because they can't be in the water more than like 3 seconds before it is a fucking problem. And she pulls the baby out, and the baby starts breathing, and she's okay. That baby was cute as fuck. The baby was adorable. Little brown baby.
Baby was like, bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah, you just threw me in the water? You ain't help me?
You tied yourself down and shit.
Yeah, but what about me? What about me? See, that's it. Like, oh shit, I dropped it. So she saves the baby, and like when she wakes up from the seizure, and I suppose it's because she kind of fully realizes what she had put her daughter through, and kind of fully comes into like mental connection with her daughter, kind of like in what she possibly could have caused. She sort of has this realization, and then she starts to see the colors after having this big earthquake. So it's the first time she's actually ever seeing it.
And don't forget too, she stopped the seizure in this moment.
Yes,
like she focused on that moment with her daughter. It helped her kind of center herself.
Right. And in that moment, she's sort of connected fully into her powers.
Right. Because she said she could never see her daughter's face.
Right.
Like she would have this flashback, but she could never see her daughter's face during it. So now she did, and now I guess that helped. Right.
And these are the worst after effects I've ever seen.
This shit was amazing. It was like Ghostbusters and shit.
Like the new one?
No, the first one.
Oh, okay. So she fully comes in contact with her powers.
It's like a Jaden Smith video.
That's funny. So she grabs more gas from the gas station, gets back in the truck, loads up, heads back to the house. She finds out that she goes to see her dad. They took Lila and to the police station or what have you, and because she used her powers in front of them, they're like, oh, she has powers too. Yeah. So they grab her and they lock her in a cell. We see Lila. She's handcuffed, but she just disintegrates the handcuffs like, fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Knock it off, nigga. But she can't get past the door, right? Yeah. Like for some reason she can't. She's not powerful enough. So this is like the scene where fucking Magneto shows up in a small town to like wreck shit. Yeah. And so Ruth gets into the town of I would say a population of 1, and she connects with the Speed Force or whatever, Rain Force, and she just makes it rain. And apparently everyone is really freaked out because it hasn't rained in 8 fucking years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she, quote unquote, tears apart the sky and then actually causes clouds and rainstorms to come down.
All right, storm.
And Bo shows up with the sheriff, and everybody is like, oh shit, like just pop it off. Like, she's got superpowers now. And Lorraine Toussaint is looking in the air, reminiscent of how she could have definitely played Storm better than Halle Berry 30 years ago.
Like, Rain, I could wash my legs.
Thank God. But I'm just going to pour shampoo under my hair and just let it run down my face because I'm dirty like these niggas on Twitter. So the cops come out and they're like pointing guns and everything. And Bo is like, nah.
Why is that always the first response? Like,
they don't even have guns.
Hey, nigga, this one is more.
Like, I don't have a weapon.
They're like, shut up, you filthy
fall.
mutant.
I just made it rain. Why are you upset right now?
Yeah. Like, I can help the crops, my nigga. Like, what the fuck you mad about?
I don't know what you up to.
Like, okay. Yeah, like, she could literally fix the planet. like, we haven't had rain in like 8 years. If you could just sprinkle some shit, do whatever dust shit you do, that would be helpful. So we can grow some corn. Like, we are hungry, my nigga. We are hungry. Also, you can make enough rain so we can get some coffee, real coffee. That'd be great.
Some Folgers, that's right.
Yeah, come on, man. Help us out. Send my ass down to the Amazon. So at this point, Bo just disintegrates their guns and was like, knock it off.
Right. Like, stop.
Just
please.
Yeah, like, this is pissing me off. Okay? I've had enough. Meanwhile, Ruth is just in the background, just making it rain, literally. That's her only thing.
You got the front, I got the back.
Yeah. Like, can you do lightning on some like storm shit? She was like, no, I only have rain.
It's like, it's raining. It's been 10 years. Take it or leave it.
Like, that's all I got. Like, if the storm drain's ready,
back up.
Like, I'll make it real dry in here. Don't fuck around. Then Bo proceeds, like, her powers are clearly super powerful because as she has disintegrated the guns, she disintegrates doors so that Lila can like walk out, right? Which is crazy. And Lila walks out, and Bo is like, "Look, I will go along with you, scientists, so you can do your experiments or whatever on me, but you got to leave them alone."
Nah.
Like, anything.
You ain't taking nobody.
Yeah, how about that? I'd be like, hey, guess what? Y'all ain't got guns. Disintegrated. I'd have disintegrated all them niggas. Gone. Right. And threw all y'all niggas right in the jaw and just kept it moving. Threw that shit right in the ocean. Oh, there's probably no ocean.
It's pretty ocean.
It's all dry land. So she's like, yeah, you good. Go along with your mom. Everybody's gonna be fine. Grandma is just gonna sacrifice herself. Fuck that.
No.
So
no.
Again, it is.
Nah, yeah,
I got superpowers, and y'all don't even have guns anymore. Like, no. So
see, the problem with this right here is you have the black woman yet again sacrificing herself to the white man.
Yeah. So that her half and quarter bred children can prosper without her.
And see, exactly. See, now she was light skinned, she'd be taken on, but she's dark skinned, so they leave her. And when I say woman, I mean WOMB. Man.
It's a bit of a her-tep sort of situation. So yeah, like the white grandfather's like, all right, good luck. Shit their ass off. Just fucked up. Like, no, yo, come on, man.
You taking my piece?
And so she walks into the building, and then she closes the door behind her, like, fuck you. It's like, yo, but like we going in. She was
Use
like,
your keys, bitch.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Like, but I left my keys on my desk. Well, isn't that your problem? I'll just be in here having a real cup of coffee. So then we just basically see Ruth and Lila drive off into the sunset, and Lila hands a note to Ruth while they're driving that Bo gave to her, and we forgot to mention this. So let me give a little bit of backstory here. Ruth talks about a story. She tells a story to Lila that growing up, that Bo used to tell her about this other girl who lived in Rome who had the same powers.
Right, kind of like a myth.
There was like a myth, and she's like, oh, actually, she just made her up to make her feel not isolated in the world, right? And that these other people existed, had the powers. But she's like, it turns out that wasn't true. She admitted that it wasn't true. But then the note that is handed to Ruth in the end is that this woman, Simone Lott, is in fact real. She lives in Rome, and there are others. Find them, and then go take the sky apart. Right. So this is where I was like, okay, this is not an allegory about race, because it's Rome, my nigga. She is very white, most likely. But that it is women that there are others. There are other women with these powers around the world that can possibly fix the world. They can take the sky apart, and reassemble it, and basically make it rain again and fix the earth, and like literally make it rain, right? And fix the earth in the end. Again, that's all fine and good, and I enjoyed the first 40 minutes and like the last 20 minutes. Yeah. But the rest of it, I was kind of like, this does not quite work. But as a series, okay. Yeah. Like if the series picks up right at this point of like, hey, they got Bo being experimented on. They got Simone Lot in Rome, probably some older woman or maybe her age, I guess. Ruth's age, and they make it to Rome, and then they find other women who have these powers, and like they start to kind of fight back and like reassemble the world, but also fight some secret government agency,
weird shadow government agency for some reason. That
Etienne, who is giving people it's metallic spines.
It's the Department of Agriculture. That's all.
Oh, yo, we need crops, my nigga. Like, we're just trying to help, please. That would be a cool series. I would be okay with that, but yeah, I'm gonna stick to a 3 overall.
That's all right.
Any score changes?
2.5.
You still sticking with 2.5?
I'll stay at 3.
At 3? Yeah. All right. Yeah, not the greatest movie, not the worst, but certainly could have used a lot more work, I think, to just kind of flush out the story. Yeah, a little bit. Like that middle part should have maybe told you a little bit more about the scientists, government agency, and like what their goals are and stuff like that. I didn't feel like we knew. Besides, like they were bad. Yeah. So, again, it was okay. Would you recommend it?
To a certain type of person.
Yeah. Would you recommend? Would you be interested? Well, let me ask you this: would you be interested in a series?
A series would be better.
Yeah.
I think I would probably watch a series.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch a series. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see. Who knows if that? I mean, the talk is that is going to happen. Who knows when, though? So look forward to that. All right, that's episode 160 for Fast Color, and we will see you guys next week with another preview episode.
More like Slow Colors.
Oh, damn. I enjoyed the movie Colors.
Yeah,
that movie is
night in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that movie. Gang violence movies make me very, very nervous.
Oh God!
I will never live. I've never wanted to live even close to Compton, LA, anything.
That was a horror movie.
Yeah, it was. It super was. All right, that's it for us, and we will see you guys next time.
Take it easy.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.